Everyone, it's Donald from YOGABODY Ireland, and I'm going to lead us through one of our foundation sequence classes. So the foundation sequence class is intended to be a stepping stone to our YOGABODY fitness flow class. We don't move as quickly, some of the movements aren't as challenging as are in the fitness flow, and some of the poses are specifically placed to help us develop the strength, the balance, the openings we need for some poses that are in the fitness flow. We'll begin by taking a few rounds of 4x4 breath. 4x4 breath is a paced breath practice where we breathe in for roughly 5-6 seconds and out for 5-6 seconds. The idea here is that we take some time to arrive, to just get out of our heads, get out of our busyness, take a step back from everything that's going on, so that we can just, give ourselves some me time on the mat. So I'll take us through maybe 3 or 4 rounds of 4x4 breath, and then we'll push into some, I think we'll start with some movement for our wrists, because our wrists are so really important for our yoga poses, and they're often neglected. So we'll start with some wrist poses, and then we'll move on to some more of the sequence. So sit comfortably, however that is for you. You can have your eyes closed. And now become aware of yourself, become aware of your body. Have a felt connection with your body, feeling the presence of your body, and softening it. So you'll find that there is a certain layer of tension in your body when you come to it and settle it and become quiet. That layer of tension we can just begin to release by softening internally, relaxing your belly, relaxing your shoulders, relaxing your face, your mouth. Jawbone tends to grip with tension, so soften that. And now noticing, in a very simple way, your body breathing. Take a slow breath in. Take a slow, deep breath back out. With your mouth softly closed, breathing in for 1, 2, 3, 4, and out for 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathing in for 1, 2, 3, 4, and out for 4, 3, 2, 1. One more round. In 1, 2, 3, 4, and out for 4, 3, 2, 1. Allow your eyes to open. Come to be on all fours. Have your hands underneath your shoulders. Have your fingers nice and wide. And elbow creases face across at one another. And then elbow creases rotate forwards, elbow creases rotate back. Okay, so elbow creases are rolling forward and back. So we're basically inner and outer rotating our arms, but this will bring some very gentle movement to the wrists as well. Okay, so a few more of these. Remember, elbow creases forward and back. Okay, let's stretch. Now, hands go sideways. Again, elbow creases are directed forward. Now here, we lean to one side and we lean over to the other side. Okay, so we want to stretch the backs of our wrists, the backs of our hands, not strain anything. So you can modulate or regulate the stretch by playing with the distance between your hands. Remember, we never want to strain joints, obviously. And quite often when we come to flexibility training, we kind of have to retrain how it is we approach our training. Because with this, if we go kind of hell for leather and push ourselves and overdo it, we're just going to strain or weaken a joint, injure ourselves, and that's not what we're at. So don't overdo it, just be patient. Remember, flexibility training, it's all about consistency, through time. We're not looking for intensity, even though at times we will challenge ourselves. Okay, so as I say, you're just leaning left and right. And then maybe one more, we can point our hands forward. This time we lean forward and we lean back. We lean forward and we lean back. And we lean forward and we lean back. Okay, one more for strength. Actually, maybe we'll do two more. So, strength. We lift our wrists, we lift our palms. Notice I'm keeping the fingers down all the way to the knuckles, and I'm lifting here. So if we do a sufficient number of these, not too many, maybe 18, 20, we can pick up the speed a bit. Then we start to challenge. We start to fatigue here. And we start to build up strength. Okay, let's say 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Pause. Maybe shake out your hands a bit. And reset and go. Okay, basically you're lifting your wrists, your palms, while you keep your fingers down. I just invented a word there, fingers. Fingers. Good. Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Okay. Pause. Shake out. Maybe reset. One more. Okay. Well, let's see. This one, we're going to begin to walk our hands around until they're pointed towards our fingers. Okay. Maybe back. Now, again, remember, do not strain anything. It's not about forcing a pose. And for some of us, we may not get our fingers all the way to point towards the knees. That's fine. That's just how it is, okay? That's fine. That's just some restriction probably in your shoulders. But this is what we need, right, for back bending. So if you can't get your hands into this position, well, that's information for back bending. That you're not quite ready for it yet. Okay, good. So, wrists. Let's leave it at that. Now, moving on. Be on all fours. Let's take our right leg back. Have it at hip level. Engage your pelvic floor muscles. This is a pose for strengthening your body. Okay, this is a step one. Looking forward a bit. If you'd like to do a step two, opposite arm reaches forward. And we hold this. Now as you hold it, keep your head and neck relaxed. Push down into your lower hand. Push into an imaginary wall behind you. Reach forward like you're reaching towards a friend. Take a couple of breaths. Exhale breath, out of that. Inhale breath, reset. Exhale breath, opposite leg goes back. So you can stay here, it's a good place to be. Lifting your leg, keep it at hip height. Square your shoulders. Gaze forward past your hands. If you like a step two, reach your opposite arm forward. And we hold this, and as we hold it, push down into your lower hand, gaze forward softly, come into your breath. Now we breathe ideally with the mouth softly closed. Breathing with the throat as it were, we start to make a sound. It's like the ocean coming and going. Great. Exhale. Out of the pose, tuck your toes under. Fingers are spread. Hands underneath your shoulders, maybe a bit forward. Engage your pelvic floor muscles, keep your knees bent. Lift your bum high into the air. Hips away from your shoulders. Keep your knees bent. For now, we just start to stretch out our arms, open our shoulders, stretch and lengthen out our upper body. Keep your head and neck soft. Feel your body. So here, let's just hold the pose for a moment. Now as you hold the pose, let's highlight three kind of important principles or pillars of our practice. Body awareness, sense of your body, connected to your body. Breath awareness, aware of your breath. Keep it easy, keep it soft, keep it moving. And then present moment awareness. Just staying with what's happening now. From here we're going to come into a high press of a plank pose. So we'll come forward, step your feet back. Now, reach into your heels. Push the floor away with your hands. Gaze forward past your hands. Squeeze your upper arms in. About a 30-second hold here. Sometimes, well, a lot of times, the tendency is to collapse like this. Okay, so we just dump into our lower back. So just be on the lookout for that. Keep your hips up. Have a line from your, like a nice angle from your shoulders to your hips to your heels. That's about 30 seconds. Okay, we'll exhale to come back. Let's take our knees as wide as the mat. Big toes touch. Sit your bum back towards your heels. So this is a pose just to reset. Maybe your breath got a bit picked up. Your nervous system got a bit fired up during plank pose. So here, opposite. Settle into your breath. Quieten your body. Okay, once again, come back up into all fours, tuck your toes under. We'll do a little medley where we move between a downward dog and a plank pose. Okay, so downward dog, upside down V, relax your head and neck, engage your hands, open the sides of your body, and now open the backs of your legs. So nothing overly strong here, just beginning to animate or energize or waken your body up. Inhale, breath, forward into a high press up. Exhale, back into a down dog. Let's do a few more of those. And inhale, forward, plank, high press up. Exhale, down dog. Now remember, at any point during the sequence, if you need to just take a breather, take a pause, just do that. Just take your knees down onto the mat. Sit your bum back towards your heels. If you need to take a break, you can rejoin the sequence when you're ready to do so. Okay, a couple more. Moving. Inhale, forward into a plank. Push the floor away with your hands. Squeeze the energy in towards the midline of your body. Exhaling breath brings us into a down dog. One more time. Into your plank. Stretch into your heels. Push the floor away with your hands. Okay, good. Back into your down dog. Maybe a little bit more going on in your down dog. And then looking to the front of your mat. Walking forward. And take your feet as wide as the mat. Turn your feet out about 10-12 degrees. Have those knees bent. We'll come into a resting ragdoll where we hold opposite elbows. So we fold our arms. Now we take our arms over the crown of our head. We let our upper body hang from our hips. Knees are bending, that's fine, okay. We will stretch the legs. Better to have your knees bent and your back
without any strain, rather than the knees straight in the back, rounding now. So just get a nice stretch in the back of your legs, keep your upper body long. Now here we can have working energy in our legs, but our head, our neck, our breath, our upper body is soft. And we can start to tick-tock over one leg and then the other leg. And as you go from side to side, just get a little bit more stretch through one leg and then the other. And let the movement come from more like the belly area. Obviously the rest of the upper body follows, but rather than just swinging the arms from side to side, let your body move, upper body move, over one leg and then over the other leg. Okay, so pause, take your fingers down. We're going to come into a squat. Now, coming into a squat, you have to be very careful here. Some of us will have our knees up, which is fine. Some of us maybe will use our hands differently. Some of us are okay to begin to descend our heels to the floor. Maybe we still support our body with our hands, or maybe we can hold a pose. Options here. And look at, if you're finding it difficult to come into a squat, there is an option where you can walk into your squat. So this is nice. So if you're holding squat, stay holding squat. But just to show, you can also come into the squat, kind of like by walking into it from the back of your mat. Yeah. See? Okay, so whether you're holding your squat all this time, well done, or you've been walking into it, we're all going to come out of the squat now. So coming out of the squat, if you're holding it, take your hands down, support your body, drop your bum and stretch your legs out. Okay, so here we can stretch our legs. Knees maybe slightly bent to begin with, fingertips by your hips. Lengthen your spine, relax your shoulders, gaze forward. Gently push into your fingers, and now start to take the backs of your legs down, stretch into your heels, pause here. So this is a really good pose. Holding the pose, we're building up strength. But as we kick into our heels and take the backs of our legs down, we're stretching our legs. Now, if that action causes you to collapse, like so, keep your knees bent. Remember, we're looking to open and strengthen, increase range of movement, and not strain joints. So if you're doing this, probably just straining your lower back. Have your knees bent. And we can all do the next bit, which is to lean back. Probably let your legs stretch a little bit more. Adjust your lower back maybe. And then arch it. So we lean back, fingers point forward, shoulder blades into your back, curl the chest up towards the ceiling, outer shoulders back. Don't drop your head back or anything. That's something that people typically do. They'll just drop the head back. But no, that's just dropping your head back. Here we're looking to arch our back. Push into your hands. Be aware of your wrists. Soften your elbows. Lift your chin. Shoulder blades in a bit. Good. We'll look forward. We'll do a worky one where we bend our knees, fingers point forward, feet are hip width apart. We'll do some dynamic tabletops. Engage your pelvic floor muscles. Inhale, breath. Push into your hands, push into your feet. Lift your hips up, lift your body up. Exhale, breath, come back down. So let's do several of these. Inhale, we come up into our tabletop. Exhale, we come back down. So keep going with your breath. I'll say a little bit more. You want to ideally get your hips up level with your knees. So like some weakness might cause the knees to be higher than the hips. That's fine, but we are looking to lift up high. Like think
tabletop, yeah. Be aware of your wrists, also elbows, that they're not being strained. We'll do a couple more. If you've just had enough for yourself in this practice, then obviously just sit there for a moment. Good. Okay, and we come down, we reset again in this letter L shape or staff pose. Legs are long, maybe knees are bent a bit. Get your back long, relax your shoulders, engage your pelvic floor muscles, like about 12% or so. You're not gripping, but just bringing those muscles into the pose. And then, yeah, this can be a stretch for your legs as well, if that's okay for you. Now, we'll do the back arch again, where we lean back. Curl the chest. Okay, be aware of your back. Soften your elbows. Arch your back, arch your back. Don't drop your head back just yet. If ever, the chin can come up and the chin can come back. But we're not dropping our head back as such, pulling on the upper spine or the neck. Okay, so feel the expression of the pose is not just a physical thing, but the poses will have an inner or energetic quality to them. Good. Okay, good. All right, worky again. 3 reverse planks to build up strength in the posterior chain. Okay, to begin with, we'll have our hands back a bit. Fingers pointed sideways. Feet wider than hip width. Engage your pelvic floor muscles. Push into your hands. Lift up your hips. Squeeze the shoulders in. Neutral neck. Push into your hands. Again, the tendency may be to collapse around the hips. That's just some weakness, so just be aware of that. Maybe just lift up a bit, lift up a bit, lift up a bit. Good. 3, 2, don't drop your head back. Remember, neutral neck. 1, down you come. Okay, take a pause. We'll take a couple of breaths and we'll go again. So that might be just the right amount of practice for you. If you want progress, bring your legs together and you could point your fingers forward. So off we go again. Okay, now, here. Maybe your fingers are pointing sideways. That's fine. Maybe your legs are hip width apart. That's fine. Maybe the hips are dropping. That's fine. Just do your best. Push into your hands and lift your hips. Shoulder blades in. Neutral neck. 3, 2, 1. Great. Down. Okay, one more to go. So again, the options will be fingers sideways, legs hip width apart, or legs together, fingers pointing forward. Or if you want more, fingers point backwards. Now, with that one, pay particular attention to your shoulders, okay? Up we come. You don't want to overdo it. Great. Maybe the toes will come to the floor. Don't drop your head back. Neutral neck. 3. Lift the hips. 2. And 1. We're coming down. Good. Okay. Cross your legs. We want to come to be on all fours. Some of us will just roll over our knees to be on all fours. For many of us, we'll take our legs out to the side. We all get to be on all fours. That's the main thing, without doing yourselves any harm or injury. So, all fours will move our spine some more. Knees are hip width apart. Hands are shoulder width apart. On an inhale breath, just look forward. Open your shoulders. Exhale. Rounding your spine with awareness. Moving slowly, moving softly. Arching your back. Inhale breath. Opening your shoulders, looking forward. Exhale breath. Rounding your spine. Looking between your thighs. Okay, we'll keep doing these two poses, moving with our breaths. You keep them going. I'll say a little bit more as we go. Now, you can lose the idea of forcing a shape onto your body or going to some sort of a maximum stretch, and just get into the process, movement, the experience of moving your spine. We concave the spine, we convex the spine. We extend the spine, we flex the spine.
some movement in your hips, some movement in your shoulders. And all of that movement has a feeling to it and is coordinated with the breath, you know? So get into all of that sort of stuff. So that as you do your practice, you're becoming more embodied, just more connected into your body, and less caught up with thinking and kind of an ego-driven attack on your body, which sometimes training can be like that. Okay, so just a few more of these, loosening the posterior. Here, loosening the posterior chain of muscles, the back of your body there, getting rid of stiffness from your spine. Good, okay, we'll pause and we'll come to stand. Okay, so standing up. Let's do something for the sides of our bodies. So we bring our feet together, stand up towards the ceiling, up towards the sky in your left hand. Now don't be in a rush to, again, a strong stretch. Let the stretch come into your outer body. And when you're ready, go out over your head. So to the lateral stretch, a sideways stretch. Now again, don't rush and don't jam yourself into a stretch. You have to get your nervous system to acquiesce, I guess. If you go too far too quickly, your nervous system is going to go into like alert mode, and it's going to start tightening muscles because its job is to stop you from injuring yourself. So you have to just go as far as it's okay, breathe. Your nervous system will give you more. If you want, then you could take hold of your top wrist and just draw on the wrist and get a nice stretch, right? So get a stretch that feels okay, feels pleasant. Inhale will come up. Exhale, down. Opposite side, our arm stretches up. Let the stretch come into your outer body. Don't be in a hurry to some maximum crazy stretch. Just breathe. Feel your body. Stay with what you're doing now, present moment awareness. You'll see the skin starts to lengthen. Nervous system permits more range of movement. You can go out over your head. If you want to take hold of the top wrist and draw and get a stretch that feels nice. Okay, good. Inhale, breath. Up we come. Exhale, breath. Down. Face the front of your mat. We're going to do some sun salutes. I'm heating up a bit. So, okay. We'll do 3 sun salute A's, maybe 1 sun salute B. So sun salutes are just joined poses into a particular sort of flow or sequence. On an inhale breath, reach up towards the ceiling, look up, press your hands together. Exhale, bending your knees, fingertips come to the floor. Inhale breath, keep those knees bent, lengthen your spine, relax your head and neck. Knees bent further, hands down, feet to the back of your mat. We're in a high press up. We're going to bend the elbows, take the body weight forward, drop the shoulders and chest a little bit. The hips will drop, so don't worry about them. Inhale breath, upward dog. Exhale breath, downward dog, upside down V, where we stretch out our body for about 5 breaths or so. Engage your hands, relax your head and neck. Get your spine long. Open the backs of your legs. Engage your thighs. So by that I mean, it's like drawing the thigh muscles onto the bone. You'll feel the kneecaps lifting a bit. Good. It just helps to loosen the backs of the legs, the hamstrings. Nice. Look to the front of your mat. Stepping, hopping, walking, whatever. Back to the front of your mat. Feet are together. Long back on an in-breath. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, uncurl your body. Reach up towards the ceiling, look up, press your hands together. Exhale, breath. Arms by your side. Inhale, reach up, look up, press your hands together. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, long back. Hands flat, feet go to the back of the mat. You're in a high press up, plank pose. Exhale, halfway down. Inhale,
upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Now some of us will walk our toes a little bit towards our hands, just a little bit. But we want to get our spine long, so you do need to have distance between your feet and your hands. Long spine, engage your hands, open the backs of your legs, heels towards the mat. It's more common the heels don't touch the mat. They will in time with practice. Mine didn't when I started. Most people's don't. Okay. Engage your thigh muscles, sorry. We'll lift the sit bones. Okay. Breathe here. Mouth softly closed. Breathing with your throat, as it were. Good. Look to the front of your mat. Stepping, walking, or whatever way, come back to the front. Exhale into a forward fold. Inhale, breath. Reach up, look up, press your hands together. Exhale, breath. Arms by your side. One more. Go for it. Good. Reach up. Out breath. Forward fold. In breath. Half a fold. Hands flat. Feet to the back of the mat. Stepping, hopping or jumping. We all come into a high press up, a plank pose. Bend your elbows. Drop your trunk. Upward dog on an in breath. Downward dog. Out breath. Adjust your toes maybe. Now lengthen out your body. Hold the pose. If there's a sense of humping in your shoulders or your lower back, then I would say bend your knees. Soften. Don't overdo it, right? You're just hitting some tightness somewhere. You're not going to undo like years of tightness in one session. So there's no point, right? Just get a stretch that's okay. Maybe your knees are bent. Maybe you're a little bit floppy in the shoulders. That's okay. But keep your head and neck relaxed. Keep working your hands in the pose so you're not dumping into your wrists, and so that you're not straining anything while you hold the pose. That's the thing. Okay, good. Let's come out of this. So we're going to, some of us will walk, some of us will hop, jump. Whatever way we come back to the front, long back, forward fold on an out breath. In breath, reach up towards the ceiling, look up, press your hands together. Exhale, breath, arms by your side. We'll do one sun salute beat, where we bend down low, we squat, fingertips touch the floor, we stay in this squat, reach out, up, hands together, good, exhale, forward fold, long back, hands down, step, hop, jump, whatever, to the back of your mat, halfway down in an out breath, inhale, upward dog, down dog, okay, left toes forward, they turn out a bit, look to the front of your mat, right foot, you want it forward between the hands. For some of us, it won't get there. That's fine. Just bring it as forward as is okay. Back foot, we keep it down. Bend the front knee. Warrior one pose. Out breath all the way to a high press up, to a lower press up. Inhale, upward dog. Down dog. Okay, good. Now here. We need to do the other side. Right foot forward a bit, it turns out. Left foot. Through the hands or towards the hands. It's all good. Okay, it's all good. On an inhale breath, bend your knee, reach up towards the ceiling. Maybe the hands come together, maybe they don't. That's fine. Exhale breath. Out breath all the way to a half a press up. Inhale. Upward dog. Exhale. Down dog, upside down V. After all that dynamic movement, this is a chance to get your breath back. Bend your knees if you need to. Actually, if you need to take your knees down, sit back onto your bum. Get some breaths back. You don't have to be the best in the class, right? Just do a practice that benefits you. So here, if you're holding down dog, engage your hands. Open the backs of your legs. Hips away from your shoulders, heels low, long back. Great. Look to the front of your mat, and either you're hopping back or you're
Casually, gingerly walking back. Maybe not even all the way, that's fine, that's where your practice is. Then you can step to the front, into your chair pose, be aware of your back. Maybe you're not down so low, that's fine. Maybe your hands come together, maybe they don't. It's all good, it's all good, it's all good. Inhale up, exhale breath, back down. Okay, we'll do some standing poses now. Triangle pose. Feet will be about meters distance apart. Left toes, they come in, heel goes back out, right leg opens from the hip. So I'm not just turning my toes out, from the hip. Knee looks out over the toes. Imagine you're between two panes of glass, so you keep your pelvic area, upper body, facing forward, reach into your fingertips. Now we hinge at the front hip while we keep our spine long. Sometimes I keep my top hand on the ribs because we tend to banana them up, so keep the ribs in. Reach over your leg, you're going to feel a stretch coming into your front leg. Don't go down too low. If you go down too low, you'll start just collapsing energetically and rounding mid upper spine. Remember, it's not about getting into the pose. Pose will come, stretch, or reach up towards the ceiling. Okay, pause here, pause here. Now if you're dying, you know, if you're just absolutely like a jack in the box under pressure to come out of the pose, you've gone down too far. Remember, we're looking to release tension from our nervous system, not pile it onto our nervous system. So keep your breath easy. Just get a stretch that's okay. To go a little bit lower, open the eye of your knee. On the inhale breath, like imagine like you just lifted those ribs away from the waistline. Drop the body down a little bit lower. And then imagine someone took your top wrist and lifted it higher. Okay, it's a long hold, that's enough. Take the top hand onto the hip, look at the floor, inhale breath, up you come. Let's do the other side. Back foot turns a bit. Front leg opens from the hip. You know that's happening because you see your knee starts to face out over the toes. And you got to engage the hips, got to engage the muscles here, otherwise you're just going to collapse. Okay, we'll do something for opening those in a little bit later in the sequence. But for now, look, just again reach out over your leg, let a stretch come into your lower leg. Keep the spine long, hand down onto your leg. Now you're not falling down towards the leg. Energetically light, lifting up towards the ceiling. Good. Okay, stretch here. And breathe. Keep your head and neck soft. You're turning your head to look up towards your top thumb. We never want strain in our neck, so maybe you stay looking forward. That's good. It's all good. Pause here, breathing. Let's go a little bit lower. Your left sit bone, take it back towards the right inner thigh. So essentially the upper body goes out over the leg a little bit more, so then you can come down along the leg a little bit more with your hand. Good. 3, 2, 1. Look at the floor, top hand onto your hip. Inhale, breath, up you come. Okay. Let's do Warrior 2 pose, where our leg goes wider. So Warrior 2, still asking the same of the hips as triangle, but now we additionally stretch the inner groins. Gotta be careful with that, right? And it's a preparatory pose for extended side angle pose. For those of you who know that pose, we do. It's a pretty standard yoga pose. It features in our Yoga Body Fitness flow. Okay, so here we descend our tailbone. Now, back leg, we're stretching onto the back foot. A little bit of an inner rotation, but not so much that you collapse. Pull the right hip back, thigh parallel to the floor, shoulders over hips, reach into your fingertips, gaze out along your right arm. We pause here, 2 or 3 breaths. Keep your head and neck soft. Look along your left arm. You want it at shoulder height, it may have dropped. Look back along your right arm.
Okay, your right thigh, can you just take it a little bit lower to the floor? And then inhale, breath, up you come. Rest your hands on your side belly. Let's do the other side. Back foot turns a bit. Let's descend our tailbone, pulling the left hip back. We're looking to get our left thigh parallel to the floor. Many of us won't, that's fine. We're still getting the stretch here. Stretch the back leg. Shoulders over hips. And look out along your left arm. Now, if there's a lot of tightness in the hip, that knee will collapse. See, like as I'm doing now? So just be aware of that. Adjust yourself maybe. Open the knee back. And you're going to get that stretch in the outer hip and the inner thigh. Okay, so maybe you're going down really low, but you're just buckling and straining your knee. That's not what we're at. So sometimes you just got to be humble, you know, and just be more aware of ourselves. And when we need to back up, we back up. We're opening the hips. A little bit of an inner rotation, the back hip. Outer rotation in the front hip. We're stretching the adductor muscle. Stretching onto the back foot. We're holding while we breathe. We build up strength. Good. Inhale, breath. Up we come. Good. And then heel toe, heel toe, heel toe, heel toe. Feet together. Okay, a balancing protocol for opening hips. And this too will help us with extended leg pose, which we'll do in a moment with the bent knee version. So for now, we're going to stand on right leg. We lift the left leg into the air, knee bent, thigh parallel to the floor, hands on your side belly, thigh bone, thigh muscle, we outer rotated, we inner rotated. Okay, so the lower half of the leg is moving, like a door, like a hinge, but the movement's coming from the hip. I'm not swinging my foot left and right. I'm moving my thigh in and out. And doing that, I start to free up my hip. Okay, good. Let's do the other side. So if you're doing this on carpet, I am at the moment, it affects the balance because, you know, you got a soft, I can't find a word, something soft underneath. Okay, so you're not on kind of firm footing, I suppose. Yeah, soft carpet. Soft surface, that's the word. God. Okay, so leg opens. See, movements. Thighs rolling in, thighs rolling out. Now, okay, good. So we'll do an extended leg pose with the bent knee version. Feet together. This is a balancing pose, so it's going to require focus, some strength, motor control. All of that gets challenged. Oh yeah, so we bend the left leg, we take hold of the knee. This is our step one. So this is a good place to be, right? You can look at some point on the floor, let your gaze go to that, so you have some focus. Relax your head and neck. Step two, right hand onto the side belly. Left knee comes up into the air, it comes out to the side. Right, so we have that stretch in the inner thigh that we had in a warrior two pose, just 2 or 3 poses back. That outer rotation in the thigh that we just did in the previous pose. And we balance here. Good. Let's come back to center. Step 3, we take hold of the knee, we lift it again. And now this is just building up strength here. Hands on your side belly. Stand up tall. Good, relax your shoulders. For 3, for 2, for 1. Nice. Down, other side. Get your breath back. Find a point for your gaze to focus on. Bend your right knee, take hold of the knee. Lift your knee up. Now for some of us, this might be it. We might find ourselves bobbing around a bit, you know, like we're back at the teenage disco. That's fine, okay? You're just working on strength and balance and focus and motor control. Stay there, right? Stay there. But the step 2 in time you will come to do is taking your knee up and out to the side, Auto rotating the thigh. Stretch the inner thigh. Open the hips, tuck the tailbone. 3, 2, 1. Back to center. Hold your knee, bring it in. Strong, tall. Now hold your knee, leave it in the air. Hands on the side belly. Lift your knee. Good. Quiet breaths here. Lift your knee. Lift your heart. Lift up. Exhale, breath. Down. Okay, good. We'll come to the floor. Face the front of your mat. Vinyasa. Reach up towards the ceiling. Hands together. Exhale, breath. Down. Okay. Long back. Feet to the back of the mat. You're stepping or you're jumping. We're in a high press up. Exhale. Halfway's down. Inhale. Upward dog. Legs don't touch the floor. Downward dog. Okay. Look to the front of your mat. Come forward and into a squat. Now, again, some of us will have our knees, well, we'll all have our knees in the air. Some of us will have our heels in the air. That's fine, okay? Main thing is just be mindful of your back and your knees, your ankles. Don't force anything. In a moment, we'll all have our heels up anyhow. So stay there, or, yeah, coming into your squat. We're going to do crow pose. We're going to bring our hands in close. Fingers are spread. We come high up onto our tippy toes. Curl into a ball. Now this does require some upper body strength, but it's really balancing. Don't be in a hurry. Get that work between your hands and the floor. Squeeze, 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 squeeze the inner legs, the outer, the triceps. Lean the weight forward. Now your face is facing the floor. That's important. Pause, just pause. Tilt the weight forward. And the weight just comes into your hands. You see the toes. They're already coming up. Point one set of toes. Point the other set of toes. Hold here for 3, for 2, 1. We'll repeat that. Okay, get your breath back. Come into your crow pose. Well, sorry, squat. Preparing. Lean forward. Hands in close. You got to get good contact with your hands. I think hands shoulder width apart, especially if there's tightness in your shoulders. Okay, so then squeeze, 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 squeeze the inner legs, the outer arms. Look forward, push, push, push the floor like we did earlier in the planks. Lean the weight forward. See, toes come up. Bounce here. If your toes aren't coming up, just take one set of toes up, take them down, take the other set of toes up, take them down. 3, 2, 1. Crow pose. Good. Okay. Let's sit down. Now we'll do a pose that will help us build up the strength we need for the standing extended leg pose. We did the bent knee version a little bit earlier. Okay, so I'll show you. Let's bend the... Okay, so let's bend the right knee. Hold on to it. Now your left leg, soften it, lift it into the air. Okay, so you're holding the weight of your leg in the air, which is what we do in extended leg pose when we're standing. This is step 1. It's a good place to be. Knee is softly bent. Step 2, straighten the leg. Point the toes. Great. Now, if you want, step 3, lift the leg up. Just be aware of your back. Don't overdo it. For 3, for 2, and 1. Down. Great. Okay, let's switch sides. Knee comes in. Bend the leg, opposite leg lifted. Step 1, good place to be. Stay there. Step 2, straight leg, point your toes. Step 3, that was a bit over dramatic there, but we lift the leg up. Nice. For 3, for 2, and for 1. Down. Okay, we'll do one of the Marichi poses. Now, bend your right knee. Oh, so you may need a belt for this. If you don't have one now, that's okay. good to have. So, bend your right knee. Now, Marichi, we're going to come down inside the leg. Now, for some of us, this is as far as we'll go. We'll just start to hit limits with our range of movement in terms of our back, our pelvis, our hips. That's fine, it's good. For some, you will be able to rotate your arm, it's the right arm, so that your palm faces up and it goes back behind you. And then perhaps the left hand can reach back. Now, for many of us, we won't get to hold our hands. I mean, your own hands, opposite hands. So that's why you use the belt. You just grab hold of that belt. Or whatever, you know. It doesn't have to be a belt. It could be a tea towel. So, like that, okay? Until you get the range of movement to eventually to bind. So until we get the bind, eventually we're approximating it. Good, okay. Let's do the other side. So, right leg out, left leg bends. We're going to come down. Reach up, reach up, reach up. Exhale down. Stay here, working on your pose. Maybe you'll bend straight leg. That's fine. Remember, we're just approximating. And we do that approximation consistently, the pose develops. Some we're down enough that we can wrap our arm back. And maybe the other hand comes back and it's not there yet, that we can reach the joint two hands. But so we use the belt, but in time we will. And we face out over the straight leg. And we can come into a forward fold for 3, 2, 1. Good. Inhale up. Release. We'll do boat pose, which is another worky one. Boat pose. We're sitting on our bum. Let's do 3 of these. Step 1. We sit on our bum. Our knees are bent. We're holding our legs. Squeeze the legs together. Be aware of your back. So like most of the poses, we can break down into steps, and that allows us to just to work towards the complete pose safely. So you just go to the step where you can work. If you go too far, then you're probably just going to be dumping down onto your joints and not actually strengthening muscles. Okay, step 2, take the shins parallel to the floor. Step 3, take your arms by your side. And then step 4, sitting up tall, legs are stretching. 3, 2, 1, down, okay. Inhale, exhale. On an inhale, kick up again, step 1. Knees are bent, step 2. Shins are parallel. Step 3, arms are by your side. Step 4, legs are straight. Good. Down, take a breath in, take a breath out. One more time. Stretch out into full pose. Legs straight, arms straight. Or have your knees bent, arms by your side or supporting. Good, okay. Lots of options there. Nice, okay. A couple more. We'll do one for our hips and our groins. Okay, feet come together. Now here, we want to stretch our inner thighs, open our hips. We can take our hands back behind us. You can be leaning back, that's fine. You can start to open your hips. Challenge, or this next step would be to come more upright. Shoulders over hips. But we're carrying body weight into our hands, so that's supporting the back. Now if it's okay for you to do so, engage your pelvic floor muscles and take hold of your feet. Now here, tendency maybe to collapse, to round. So, long back. And if that just isn't there yet, then that's fine. Then you just use your hands. Maybe lean back a bit. Okay, that's just tightness in your hips or somewhere, limiting you. So, okay, just got to respect that. Practice where it's real for you, as opposed to going
just going too far and you think you're doing something, but no, you're not. You're just straining something. Okay, so here then we're looking to descend the thighs, right? Now, don't force the legs down. Open the legs down, maybe using the leg strength. Pause for 3, for 2, 1. Up you come. Okay, good. We'll do bridge pose a couple of times. Come to line your back. Let's lengthen out our spine so we have a long stretch through the entire body. Reach into your heels, reach into your hands, lengthen out your body. Good, okay, then bend your knees. Now as an approximation, feet are hip width apart. Your fingertips touch off of your heels. Tuck your tailbone up towards the ceiling. Lift it and take it up towards where the ceiling meets the wall opposite you. As you come higher and higher, higher up into bridge pose, you can walk yourself onto your shoulders. Interlace your fingers. Now remember, we don't want any pinching in our lower back if that's going on. Maybe walk your toes a little bit more towards the front of your mat. But no likelihood you're just reaching the height that is just beyond what you're ready for yet. So don't overdo it. But here we are looking to hold a pose. Balance the weight between the inner foot and the outer foot so your knees aren't falling in and out. Hips might tend to collapse. Lift them onto your shoulders. Push on your heels, come more up onto your shoulders. Push into your elbows, upper arms. Okay, good. For 3, for 2, and 1. Exit the pose. Okay, pause here. Let's take the soles of the feet together. Let the knees fall out to their respective sides. Back ribs down. We tend to see so in the ribs, in the spine. So we want to keep back ribs down. Interlace your fingers. Stretch back. Just reset here. Take some breaths. So we'll do another bridge pose. Maybe moving up into full wheel pose. So bridge again. You're coming up onto your shoulders. You're opening your ribs. You're opening the front of the body. Pushing on your heels. So stay there if you want to do the next step. For wheel, you take your hands underneath your shoulders. So remember we had this movement in the wrist protocol earlier. Next step, crown of your head. Maybe stay there or push up to full wheel. Now, don't force that. It will come in time. Exhale. Out of the pose. Stretch your legs long. Inhale, stretch back. So back bending is exhilarating. It fires up the nervous system. So let your breath settle again here. Pause here. Okay, hug your knees. Now we'll just do a simple one for our hips. Legs are together. Knees are bent, arms are by our side. We take our knees out to the side, away from us, towards us. It's kind of like doing, I think that's a breaststroke, leg movement. I might be wrong. I have some swimmers setting me right in that. But you get the idea is we're moving our thighs in circular movement, so we just loosen out our hips and pelvic area. Let's change again, opposite direction. Okay, good. Then we'll hug our knees. Hugging our knees, we'll take hold of the backs of our legs. And then we'll stretch our legs up towards the ceiling. So this is like a preparatory pose for shoulder stand. Now here, We can have our knees bent if that's better for us, or we stretch out our legs if that's okay for your back. Reach into the heels. You can stay holding your legs, or place your arms by your side, or indeed place your arms back behind you, reaching behind your arms by your head. We'll hold this for not too long more, about 30 seconds. For those 30 seconds, keep your breath flowing, keep it soft, keep it easy. Okay, bend the knees, hug your knees. With your knees hugged, let your eyes close. We're going to begin to gently rock side to side. Don't overdo it. With your eyes closed, feel the presence of your body. And getting more tuned into the experience of rocking your body side to side. Okay, so rocking is quite a primal experience for our nervous system. It's comforting, it's reassuring, it's grounding, it's calming, it's quite pleasant. With your eyes closed and your gaze turned inwards, letting the rocking be what gets your mind's attention. And then letting the rocking shape or nudge your mind, I guess, towards being more quiet and soft, still. Okay, pause. From here we're going to come into relaxation pose. Now, you want to be comfortable and cozy for a relaxation pose. If you want to grab a throw or a blanket to cover yourself in doing that, or if you want to put on another layer of clothing, then you could do that. I think I'll put back on my t-shirt. And you come then to lie on your back. Okay, so you're lying on your back. If there's tiredness, achiness in your lower back, have your knees bent. Then you need to position your feet so that your knees are just held in the air without any effort. If your legs are straight, then take them as wide as the mat. Shuffle your back waist or ribs, make sure your lower back is okay. Arms are out from your side and have a nice distance between the upper arms and the sides of your upper body so that there's a real sense of space, even like inwardly. Make with other wriggling movements will help you to be comfortable here. Some of us will need to put a height underneath our head. If our chin's up very high, then just pop a firm cushion or folded blanket underneath your head. Now then, do a few rounds of a breath practice to help us slow down again. All paces. So we'll work towards like a 2-to-1 ratio for our inhale and exhale, where we inhale for a count of 4 and eventually exhaling for a count of 8. And we won't get to 8 immediately. Remember, the important thing with your breath is that you never strain it, you never struggle with it. So if my counts are just too slow for you right now, then just go with your own. So in all cases, let's just take a nice slow breath in. Slow breath back out. in for 1, 2, 3, 4, and out for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale again for 1, 2, 3, 4, and out for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, and out for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In breath 1, 2, 3, 4, and out for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In for 1, 2, 3, 4, and out for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Breath in for 1, 2, 3, 4, and out for 6, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And breath 1, 2, 3, 4, and now 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And again 1, 2, 3, 4, and out 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now just let your breath happen. Keep your gaze inward. Soften your body. Allow your breath to flow. Have an idea of just letting go of everything for the next 60 seconds or so. Just let everything flow. Thoughts, feelings, sounds, inner pictures, memories, projections into the future. Don't try and stop anything. Just step back. Just let it all flow through the space of your mind. Okay, we're going to finish up our practice. Now if you want to, just stay in your relaxation pose for however long you wish, obviously, but I'll guide us through closing off the practice, so you can stay as you are or move with me. If you're closing off your practice now, begin to waken your body up, moving your fingers, moving your toes, maybe moving your head a little bit from side to side. Become present to a sense of the room that you were in, sense of yourself, and then letting larger movements start to appear as you become more awake. Maybe stretching back behind your head, bending your knees, maybe hugging your knees, just whatever feels good. Nothing prescribed here, just your body will want to do some movements. And then roll over onto your side. Pause there for a moment. Connect with your breath. And then from your side, push yourself up to sitting. We'll sit comfortably. We'll do our closing practice. Cross-legged or however it is for you to sit comfortably. There's no right or wrong way, just whatever works for you. Take one hand to your heart. Take one hand onto your belly.
Let your eyes close. Turn your gaze inward. Connect with your body. Hold yourself with an attitude of self-care. Then if you care to, inwardly repeating a couple of times, may my practice heal and strengthen my body and mind. May my practice heal and strengthen my body and mind. And we'll take a breath in and exhaling. Release your hands, open your eyes.